They're lining up 2 by 2, so I think we're going to get ready to go back to green here. It'll be Eric Holmes on the inside, Mike David on the outside. And how about Tim Woods is going to restart in the 3rd position?
Yep, Tim, again, I tell you, he's been working up again. He just said, I overdrove in practice. I really believe I got a good race car. And Tim likes racetracks like this. He's an aggressive driver. He really gets up on the steering wheel. And these little 3/8 miles, quarter-mile racetracks, Tim really gets the job done. So on little tracks like this, if he's got a car underneath him, he can really get the job done. And
Tim
he's doing
Woods
it here tonight at Kyle.
Former college football player. Of course, we're in a big college football area. The Texas Longhorns playing tonight, same time this race is being run in nearby Austin.
So the 2-car, Mike David there, earlier.
Starting on the outside.
Starting on the outside. Not the place you want to be, but get a run right here off the corner.
Still there. Still there.
How about David?
Still there.
On the outside.
Come on. Still there. Get on it. Get on it.
You see that? He got
Still there.
such a momentum run there off the corner. Almost beat him down, but not quite down.
Still there. Still
Trying
there.
to get ahead of him and get down low.
On your quarter. Still there.
Just can't quite get enough. I mean,
On
another
your
2
quarter.
foot.
The car that turns around, it's Duncan.
Mike
Duncan
Duncan.
has spun in turn 4. Mike Duncan has spun. No caution yet.
Wow, just looked like he got way high
Now
on
it's
the
out.
outside. Just lost it. Again, no grip. Got to be careful as the leaders come back around not to get a lap down.
Well, you know what happened? I mean, that was amazing for Duncan, able to get refired, and the caution comes out just in time. He'll stay on the lead lap.
Here's another look at it. Looks like he's on the outside of Tim Woods. Tim drives down to the bottom. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like Duncan just lost grip on the outside.
You know what that looks like to me? I know he lost grip, but he's going hard into that corner. I think he's got a pretty soft brake pedal right there and just can't get that car woed down enough to make that turn.
Exactly. Look at, you see, he got in a speedy dry there. You know, they just laid a lot of speedy dry down the racetrack, and it looked like he may have locked up the left rear tire or possibly, just got into that speedy dry, and it just enough to turn the car around.
Watch this again, and you'll see the white strip. That's the speedy dry right there. You see it kicking up behind his rear wheel?
He's right in the groove. I mean, he's right in that speedy dry. He loses grip on the right side of the car, and then he gets out of control. There's nothing you can do at this point. Wow. Tough break for him. And in all series, when they do a track cleaning like this as a driver and as the spotter, that's one of the spotter's jobs to say, hey, be careful. There's speedy dry up in that second groove, guys. Be careful. Get it worked in. It takes some 10 laps to get rid of it. So you have to remember that.
They're the spotters. And by the way, Mike Duncan's spotter, Bill Sedgwick, is a 2-time champion as a driver.
Bill's lots of experience. Been around in all series forms of racing. Knows what it takes to win races and get around. So Duncan will settle back in and work his way back to the front again. He's still on the lead lap.
Again, they'll line up 2 by 2. The real beneficiaries here are Tim Woods and Austin Cameron. They'll start on the second row. Brian Eichler and Johnny Borneman, we haven't talked a lot about those guys. They'll start on row 3.
Well, Johnny Borneman's been real quiet all night. Starting in the 12th position again, just was not happy with qualifying and practice. He said it could not get a hold of the racetrack, but may have made some changes here in the halfway point.
And we're coming up in 9 laps on 50 to go here.
Now's the time where you really do need to keep your car up in that top 5. Start thinking about the end of the race. With 50 to go, with 20 to go, we need to be there, and 10 to go, we got to put it in position.
All right, ready for the green
Go,
again.
go, green, green, green. You're clear, all clear.
It's a word from Mike David, spotter.
Good run. Look at the run off the back straightaway. He was able to get back down on the gas hard, but it looks like possibly caution was going to go out, but it did stay green.
Boy, Tim Woods getting all kinds of battling there from Brian Eichler in that 20 car. Look at him right beside him, right there.
Yeah, but Tim's got to get down on the bottom. Not the superior race car he's had all night to be on the outside. He knows he's got to get down on the bottom. That's important.
And watch, did you see that 77 car? Steve Portengay, he has made his way back from that spin.
Steve says, I'm not letting nobody on this bottom side. It's been too tough for me all night. I'm having the bottom. It's my line. That's where he wants to be. That's where his car works. Back into 5th position. He can smell the front.
Now Mike David, Eric Holmes out in front. You know, we've talked about NASCAR's diversity program. Juliano Losacco from Sao Paulo, Brazil, has had a great race. He is currently running 10th in the top 10, trying to get a feel for these stock cars. He is a great racer in Brazil. He's won 2 Brazilian championships in stock car racing.
He has 2004, 2005 stock car championship in Brazil. Them cars are a little different, though. They're 2,700 pounds, 450 horsepower, compared to our 3,300 pounds, 620 horsepower. He says it's been a little bit of a change, been a little bit of an adaptation to try and drive these race cars, but I like them.
And a little bit of difference between Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Austin, Texas, too.
Absolutely. And he runs a lot of road racing over there. He's never really run much oval, so, these oval tracks, as aggressive as these guys are, and aggressive as you have to get on an oval, that's been a learning experience for him also. But he's doing a really good job here tonight. He's able to keep the car under him, and to finish this race in one piece would be a victory for that team.
Austin Cameron and Johnny Borneman have quite a battle going right here. My score sheet says that's the battle for 6th place. Cameron running 6th, Borneman running 7th right now. Eric Harden is in the 8th position.
Borneman complaining in practice. He says the car's getting over on the right rear. He said, I just can't figure out what it's doing. It's tight, it's loose, don't know where to go. We're going to make some major changes. And again, he threw everything but the kitchen sink at it also. Him and Austin Cameron both.
You see we're under 50 to go now. One car who is really making a move is the 20 car, running 3rd right now. That is Brian Eichler out of San Diego, California. He's a rookie. Began racing in the off-road desert series in Southern California. He attends Grossmont College in San Diego, came in 9th in points. And right now is running 3rd. He does have a 2nd place finish this year. That was on the road course at Sonoma. Brian Eichler, a youngster, making his presence felt here in Kyle, Texas tonight.
Another youngster under the helm of Bill McAnally. Again, Bill has done so much for this series and been a supporter of this series for so long, and he's brought up so many good drivers. You can't say enough about Bill McAnally and what he's done, but it's so nice as a driver to come into a series like this, to have a car owner with that type of history that has made that many drivers move up and progress through the different series. And that's a really good thing for a driver to come and have somebody like Bill McAnally there to be able to hold the helm and give them the direction that you really need.
The laps continue to wind down, and I think the car to watch out for, beside the 2 of Mike David and the 62 of Eric Holmes, is the 77 of Steve Portengay. If he can catch up to those 2, he has been really fast making his way back up through the field after that spin.
Well, he has, and Steve's won here again last year. He's last year's winner. He likes this racetrack. He's brought the same car back. He knows how to get around this place. And again, he knows he has to be there with some 10 laps to go. So he's hoping for a caution in his next 20 or 30 laps to get him back up there within touching distance of the leaders.
Well, he's running about the same lap times right now as the leader. Mike David, if they finish this like this, Eric Holmes will still come away from here as the points leader heading into the last race of the season. Those 2 just can't get away from each other.
No, they can. And again, Eric Holmes has just been so consistent. He's the type of driver that'll settle for 2nd or 3rd place. And that means a lot. He's up there in rooting range, we call it, and he gets up underneath the guy and gets spun out. He knows that he cannot win championships that way. Eric Holmes is not that kind of driver. He's a conservative driver, and he's aggressive when he needs to get aggressive. But that doesn't always win championships. And again, what he's doing here tonight, if he has to finish 2nd, he knows that he's okay with that because he wants to win the championship.
Of the 10 races before tonight, 7 of them, Holmes has been in the top 5.
It's amazing. And again, it's consistency as a driver. He's bred that into himself, obviously. He says, I got to be patient. I know that's what it takes. And that's so hard to do for a race car driver because we don't, as race car drivers, have much patience built in us. It's just a hard thing to do. So you have to set your pace. You have to have good people behind you. Your spotter has to be talking to you, keeping you cooled down at the right time and the right places.
This is the battle for 4th, and the handle seems to have gone away a little bit on that Portengay car. He made his way up through the field, and now Tim Woods trying to get inside of him to take that 4th position away.
Now you see the car moving around and jumping around, not to Steve's liking. He's not able to get back in the gas hard, and that's what you have to do on a short track here. Back in the gas hard, smooth through the center. Good corner there, but previous turn before that, you've seen the car moving around an awful lot and enabled Tim Woods to get up on the car lane for too long.
A really good battle going here as we approach 35 laps to go.
See the brakes glowing on some of these cars. They turn bright red as they drive down in the corner sometimes, so you just have to not overdrive. Don't overuse your brake right.
It's Eric Harden in the 18 trying to get into past Johnny Borneman. Now watch this.
Drives down in the corner and picks the throttle up a little bit earlier. Borneman not quite in the gas yet. Says, hello, I'm back here, but did a good job. Got back out of the gas. If he stayed in the throttle, he would have turned Borneman around. Not what he wants to do.
They've been doing that all night long. Borneman 7th, Harden 8th.
See a piece of the fiberglass bumper cover flapping off the left rear of that car. Not causing any major problems or difficulty to it, but in NASCAR season, they may keep an eye on it.
There is Mike David out of Modesto, California, 39 years old, trying to win the series championship. Has 2 wins this year, both of them at his home track, Stockton 99 Speedway. Coming off a top 10 run in Fontana. But he knows to catch Eric Holmes, he can't worry about what Eric Holmes does. He has to go out and try to win these last 2 races, and that's what you're seeing him do here tonight.
Well, he does. He knows he has to beat Eric Holmes to win that championship. So not only is he going to win the race, he has to beat Eric week in and week out. Battle for 4th position right here. Portengate just cannot get a good run. Tim Woods also able to drive down in the corner a little harder, not able to pick up the throttle like Portengate can. You see Austin Cameron in the sights also.
Cameron in the red 88, right behind him. There's the 8 of Borneman and the 18 of Harden. You know, Harden's a great story. Guy survived cancer, lost part of a leg. Still out here able to really push that race car around the track. Here, the battle for 4th again, and Tim Woods keeps looking inside, and now he's got under him. Oh, my gosh.
Yep, Portengate not wanting to get up
almost
that outside, but he actually moved up the racetrack and said, well, he's down there. Spotter called him inside. Tim Woods able to get back under him and stand on the gas.
Austin Cameron almost made a run at him as well.
Yep, that's the thing. Sometimes if you make a hole, if there's 2 cars, you're going to have 2 or 3 freight train you. So if one comes through, you got to shut the door as quick as you can, and that's what enabled Steve Portengate to get back in the groove there and shut that door.
Tim Woods now running 4th. Portengate 5th, Austin Cameron 6th. That's the best battle on the racetrack right now, as Mike David and Eric Holmes have kind of checked out a bit.
See Portengate wanting that position back, driving down in there hard, but just not able to pick the throttle up. Tim Woods a little bit loose off the corner. You see the back end of the car slide around, enabled Portengate to get back to him.
Well, I think Portengate's going to give him a battle before this night's over. Trying to take that position away. Boy, you saw how hot the brake rotors are. Now Holmes has caught up with Mike David. 25 to go. Is here where you try to make your move?
Well, I'd say no, not quite yet. You need to get within that 10-lap range. You really do, because anything can happen. You can get a caution, so you do not want to overdrive your car, heat up the brake rotors, overheat the tires. You need to wait. There's about 10 to go. In my opinion, that's the time to start checking out and really driving the race car hard. You see these cars, they've been so consistent, and they're just glued to the racetrack. They're not overdriving these race cars. Both these drivers, Mike David, Eric Holmes, again, that's why they're topping points right now. They know they have to be consistent to win races. They drive the cars real comfortable. They do not overdrive their equipment. That's so important to be there at the end.
You want to know how hot it is underneath those cars on those brake rotors? Watch here as you come around, and we're going to see, watch underneath that 62 car.
Yep, you'll actually see sparks coming out from underneath them as they drive down in the corner. And what that is sparks from the brake rotor. Exactly. See the glowing of the brake rotors over 1,000 degrees. I believe some 1,400 degrees at some times as they enter the corner. And
there it is.
Yep, them brake ducts. That's why it's so important to have brake ducts to cool them brakes down.
Well, it's getting hot right now, and Holmes is right on Mike David's bumper. You know he feels him there. Austin Cameron has gotten by Tim Woods. Here comes Steve Portengate.
Steve says, I want the position back. You got back by me earlier. Tim Woods moved up the racetrack. Smart thing to do, and said, all right, guys, I'll let you by. Let me get back in line and see if I can catch you. But these 2 guys have really been going at it. Here's Eric down to the bottom. Good pass.
The battle for the lead right here. Can Eric Holmes make the pass? The outside is not where you want to be. And Eric Holmes, the series points leader, is back in front with under 20 laps to go.